Ay, sorry po. Sorry po na I had to take a call. Pasensya na po. So, ang sinasabi natin kanina is that VP Inday doesn't just bring uh, yung determination, uh, the fact that she is pro ROTC, the fact that she's a reservist in the Philippine Army, the fact that she has experience in the she has experience in dealing with the insurgency and terrorism as mayor of Davao City, but also because she is concurrently, pakisabi na lang kung may volume, kung okay yung volume dahil concurrent na Secretary of Education siya. Opo, part 2, pasensya na po, ang ikli nung kanina eh. So, as concurrent Secretary of Education, nasa lugar din siya, she's in a position to institute policies within the Department of Education to prepare our high school and even grade school students to to deal with potential recruitment. 'Di ba? Saan nangyayari ang recruitment? Nangyayari yan sa college level. Ngayon, sa college level, usually adults na yan kasi over 18 na and in many cases over 21 pagka nag-recruit. So kapag ganun, wala na yung parental supervision, wala na uh, yung yung minority. So the parent can no longer make the decision for the child. So kailan tayo magi-intervene? Ang intervention happens before they go to college, before they become, or before the opportunity presents itself na ma-recruit sila. Uh, Nasa mall na naman ako, yes po. Hindi natapos yung shopping ko kasi kahapon dahil nagla-live din naman ako. So, yung size na, oo, 2XL. So, obvious ba, nasa men's section ako. Isa pa para kay Benedict naman.
Ito, lahat ba ng color niya?
Sorry. Ayan, okay yan. So, isa daw 3XL para sa kanya. Ayan. So, yun, loud and clear. Buti na lang. Oo, dyan natulog si attorney, sabi ni Ian. Loko-loko. So, uy, ito. Tumitingin kasi ako na, kasi nga bibiyahe kami. Kaya kanina, I had to deliver cookies also to my co-host, si Boss Conrad, Boss Jonat, and Boss Joel. Kasi I will be in abroad on the 23rd until June 6 and then out again on June 9th or June 8th. So, marami akong utang but I promise I will go live every day habang nasa biyahe. So, masanay na kayo na nasa labas ako nagla-live. So, nasaan po yung banig nyo? Oh, sayang yung aircon, kaya dito ako. Ilan yan?
Mag 2XL lang ba? O 3XL lang?
Isang 3XL.
Ilang 3XL?
Ay, dalawang 3XL, dalawang 2XL. Ayan. So, ang hirap mag-shopping pagka walang kasama. So, akala ko nga sabi ni Roy, replay kasi nasa mall na naman. Tapos same na lugar. So, to diversify also my diet. At saka para magsulit. Otherwise, kung nasa bahay ako, naka-aircon ako the whole day. So, hi kay Ma'am Annette Alegre. Good Wednesday evening, Thursday morning dito. Opo. So, oy, huwag kakalimutan, like and share, ha? Yay, we're back, sabi ni Sir Noel. Sabi ni Sir Erwin, bili ka na ng kids. Wala pa po silang stock. Kids pa yung binibili natin. Kids na yung nireserve ko, no? Oo. Yung Vans kasi, makapal yung sole, so parang hindi bagay sa dresses. So, I really have to buy yung kids na classic red. Uy, shopping day to. Revenge shopping day to. Uy, hindi. Nakatira na nga yata ako sa Shopee. So, ayan, okay na. Kasi alam mo yun, yung suddenly, when pag ang feeling mo, biglang titignan yung mga anak mo, mga kasama mo sa bahay, o mga mo, when you're afraid that people will start looking at the people you're living with, to realize mo, teka, bakit wala kang damit? O, ayan, shopping tayo ngayon. Kay Benedict. Wala blue. Oo. Ang bagay sa kanya yung yellow. Okay. Sabi ni Ma'am Pinay, enjoy your trip abroad din kahit malayo pa po. Opo, actually, the phone call was from my son trying to get my schedule from me. Eh, syempre, hindi pa tapos yung, yung itinerary. So, I have to, ano, ganyan nanay ko. Sabi ni Sir Francis, sasabihan kami mag-ayos ka naman. Oo, alangan naman i-rely ko dun sa mga taong sinasabihan ko na, uy, magbihis ka naman. Di, ako na yung bibili. So, okay, back to Ma'am Inday. So, yun. I'm trying to pick as many Pinoy brands as possible kung kakayanin ng mga sizes. So, anyway, ang inaano ko is, so good news, triple good news. Inday is co-chair. Vice Inday is co-chair. And at the same time, Secretary of Education. So, significant yun bukod yun dun sa bukod yun nga she brings a lot of experience, or at least experience as mayor, then she also gets to learn about the other programs, and we can also highlight na ngayon, we can also highlight yung prevention. So, as Secretary of Education, we can prepare our kids for the potential that this is going to happen, na alam na ng teachers how to deal with it, and in fact, the Vice President has warned yung mga how do you call this? Yung, yung mga grupo that are supportive of the insurgency. Isa lang. Pero anong kulay yung binigay natin sa kanya?
Red na.
Okay. Sige.
Kanino? Tatlong 3XL.
Okay, kunin na natin. Okay. So, di ba? And then she'll also see the other programs like yung mga barangay, yung mga support dun sa barangays natin, that yung mga economic support that we have to provide dun sa mga areas na tina-target ng insurgency. So kapag ganun, holistic yung approach natin. Yung yan. So, ay ma'am, good morning po. Bayad muna. ito. Ang pwedeng credit card.
Yes po.
Ayan. Hi kay Ma'am RG. Hi kay Chev. Ma'am Eden. Hi kay Sir Francis. Ma'am Jessie. Okay, para din sa mga nanonood, huwag pong kakalimutan, like and share po tayo, ha? At saka din, huwag din pong kakalimutan na yung subscribe to our YouTube channel, and meron po kami TikTok, ha? Yun yung mga abbreviated na lang. Hi, sabi ni Ma'am Lagos. Ma'am Susan, nakapanood ng live na worth the time. Hindi ba worth the time na? But ang daming kasing chika. So, ano pa yung ibang mga programs ng NTF LCAC that we're looking at? So, tatandaan ninyo NTF LCAC isn't the counterinsurgency na military action. This is the action that the rest of government, kasi di ba whole of government approach yan. So, this is what the rest of government is also doing. So, dati na highlight ni General Parlade was the communications aspect, identifying those that support the communist terrorist groups. So, pagka na-identify kasi natin yung mga sumusuporta, they will fall under the ATL. At pag pumasok yun sa ATL, kuidaw na sila. They will not be so aggressive dun sa pagre-recruit and so on. At mapipilay talaga sila. So, saan pupunta ninyo? Nandito po ako sa Robinson's Magnolia. Normally, ang shopping ko hindi dito. But, I needed to check out din yung mga places to eat dito. Hi kay Sir Jerry Soliman, nasa Houston daw siya. Hi kay Sir Manny Ramirez. Hi kay Sir Dennis. Uy, nakahabol daw sa live. Maganda, sabi ni Ian James, para mas lalong tumibay ang NTF ngayon, nandyan din si VP. Yes, and it's also as a political move of the president, strategic communications dito, to show the people that he is involved in this endeavor, by putting the person he trusts, si Vice President Inday, and at the same time, addresses the concerns of people that the President is parang being hostile, di ba? Sa mga Duterte. So that lays that to rest. Hindi the president is fully committed to continuing the Duterte programs. And he puts the vice president there. Sabi ni Chev, I hope that VP Inday will discover about a certain section of EO23, which letting those front organizations of CPP and PANDF joining overlay. No. I read EO23. And I acknowledge na ang tama dito si Sec JPE. Okay, ganito yan. What is EO23? I actually did a short TikTok video on it kasi ganito yan, maraming reklamo. Now, what happened was during the Duterte administration, maraming nagre-reklamo tungkol dun sa EJ case and red tagging and so on. So some of them took these to the ICC. The others, they took them to the International Labor Organization kasi ang claim nila ay yung tina-target ay yung mga organized labor groups. So, madaling sabi yung unions. Pero sa totoo lang, kukunti yung nababalitaan natin na ganun because it wasn't really a major area of concern nung time na yon. So, nevertheless, sa dami at sa sipag ng mga taong nagpapadala ng para dun sa mga tao nagpapadala ng reklamo dun sa International Labor Organization, nag-create tuloy ng high-level tripartite committee, high-level HLT. Ayun. High-level tripartite na committee to work with the Philippine government to address yung mga issues na ganito, yung mga reklamo na ganito. So, the Executive Order number 23 was created para mag-create ng counterpart committee dito. Anong gagawin ng counterpart committee? Monitor, coordinate, yung mga favorites, but also to inventory the cases, to monitor those cases, to inventory yung mga programs that are pro-labor, to put in new policies that will address these problems. Ang mali talaga dun sa EO lang is in-include yung terms EJK and red tagging when those do not legally exist in the country. Those terms do not indicate any violations in the country. So, sa escalator. So, because of that, sabi ni Secretary Enrile, he is willing to correct the Executive Order number 23 to acknowledge the fact that these two terms do not exist under our laws. In fact, we've always argued that there is no such crime as red tagging, even if there are certain interest groups who are interested, who want it to become a crime, who want it to become a wrong that we can address through the legal system. So, andyan na yung mga Rapplerettes, andyan na si Maria Ressa. The other thing that they're trying to introduce also is the term fake news, which is an additional, how do you call this? Which is a form of suppression of free speech, because it's not in our constitution to allow laws that will restrict free speech, except for those that are already in place, such as libel and so on. There has to be a form of damage in order for us to say that a certain speech is wrong. Sabi ni Michelangelo, the placement of VP as co-chair is to counter the propaganda being marketed by the CTGs and the supporters that ELCAC is being castrated and later abolish. Your move, CTGs. Don't let them move. Okay? Sabi ni Sir Francis, Crapplerheads. Sabi ni Ma'am Jennifer, hi po again, lunch break na sa pagtatanim sa bukid. Ay, one of these days, ambition ko is to have a farm. Hi kay Chev, sabi niya, thanks. I'm heaving a sigh of relief. Ang ganda sana ng EO23 kung di lang nilagyan ng section na ang mga detractors ng gobyerno nakikinabang. Hope JPE will fix it. Actually, it's not, it's significant because it's in the whereas clause. And normally, dun sa whereas clauses, nilalagay natin yung mga existing existing laws, yung mga basihan, like the Constitution, the laws, and so on. So, yes, I'm pretty sure, kasi executive order lang yan, under the direction of the president. Even the executive secretary himself can take it on himself to bring the matter to the president and explain na, sir, meron tayong i-amend dito kasi nagkamali tayo. These two terms do not exist under Philippine law. Di ako natapos, kaya ako nasa mall. Di ako natapos mag-shopping kahapon. Napagod na ako. Kasi actually, I still have to buy stuff for myself. Kasi I haven't been in a mall in a long time. Ground floor pa. Nasa baba tayo, so one more up. Ay, nauna na kayo. Ang bagal-bagal natin maglakad. Ayan. Sabi ni Sir Christopher, bakit di maglabas ang gobyerno ng list ng mga names ng fake news para hindi sila i-patronize ng mga viewers? Kasi the term fake news is a conclusion. And in order to make that conclusion, you have to present evidence. And what is that? That's a trial. But why would we have a trial over fake news? That's not a law. That's not even a wrong because ang daming ang daming madadamay niyan. Look, it is human nature to experiment. That's why we have science. What happens in science? You experiment. You try this, you know that it is wrong, you try something else. So, in the course of human history, we have also declared things to be factual when they were not factual, when they were fake. My always classic example is Galileo. Diba? The world was wrong. He was right. But at the time, he was being punished for being right because they said he was wrong. Now, that's going to happen to us all the time. Now, at this time, we can think we can be right. This is the fact. Let's say the sky is blue. As far as we know, the sky is blue. It is observable fact. It is all of this. And then one day, it turns red. And you're no longer correct. Are you still fake news? Oh, meron pa. Yung mga heliocentric model. Sabi na, the world said we're not heliocentric, we're geocentric. The Earth is the middle of the universe, the center of the world, the solar system, and the universe and all that. And it turns out we were wrong. Pero ang sinasabi nila, and they punished Galileo for being fake when actually he was right. Paano yung mga mali ngayon? It turns out later on that they're right. How can you say fake news? You can't punish fake news because people are going to make mistakes in good faith and oftentimes without damage. So why are we restricting speech? It is in discussion, whether you're right or wrong, that the truth can come out. But if you do not allow, if you will restrict discussion, then what's that? You restrict free speech. You restrict the thinking that breaks barriers. The thinking that tests facts, the thinking that that requires our if you're going to present something as a truth, it must be supported. But if you're afraid to say something is true because you're going to be held accountable for it for the meantime while you're still considered wrong, how is that a good thing? Sabi ni Sir Eric, dati paniwala ng simbahan 6,000 years old ang mundo. Ngayon tanggap na nila na 4.6 billion years na ang mundo. Yes, but we don't punish. We should not punish people for articulating what they think is a fact or for articulating new ideas. Kasi that's what's happening. Gusto nila Maria Ressa na tigilin natin yung mga new ideas na yan. So, halimbawa, the idea that we can break the back of the communist groups, the communist insurgency. Sa kanila nun, hindi, tanggapin na lang natin, andyan na sila. At saka hindi naman sila mga rebelde, mga lang sila, mga ano ba yun, righteous indignation, protesters, activists, ganyan. There's nothing wrong with protesting and there's nothing wrong with being an activist, but the moment you pick up arms, you're a criminal. Even if it's in furtherance of a political ideology. So, nagrarant ba ako? Pasensya na. Ang dami food. Teka. Ah, watching daw sa Hong Kong si Ma'am Josephine. On my way to the Philippine Consulate for process of our papers. Ma'am, good luck po. I'm actually going to eat Mongolian. Oy, sakto, 11 o'clock na. Bukas na uli ang aking eating window. Kaya ano, pag kung saan ako abutan, so ano si Benny? Paano yun? Sabi ni Sir Virgilio, ma'am, paano na po yun? Mga vloggers na nang bababoy na po kay First Lady. Free speech pa rin ba yan? It's libelous in some instances, but hindi tayo ang pwedeng mag-file ng kaso na yon. Only the First Lady can do that. Now, here's the problem. When you are a public figure, yung mga, even if hindi totoo, yung mga nasasabi tungkol sa'yo, hindi presumed na may malice. So, ano ibig sabihin ng malice? It means na alam mong mali, alam mong nakakapanira, then, but you say it anyway. So, at tapos yung pagsasabi mo, it causes damage. So, ang may karapatan mag-allege na na-damage siya, na nabalahura siya, nabastos siya, and all that, is the person who will make the allegation of libel. So, do you understand? We cannot claim it for her. Although we can say, no, that's not true. So, makikilahok ka pa rin dun. And the thing about our laws is, until it is proven otherwise, that is presumed correct. Or that is presumed being made in good faith. So, di ba, guilty is only after you have proven guilt. Oh, you can say you suspect that these people are guilty. Pwede yun. Yan libelous. Ayun. Mahina yung mahina. Pwede ba tayo dito sa labas muna? Ayun. Mahina kasi yung signal dun sa loob, kaya lumabas muna ako. Saan po ang lakad? Watching you from Alberta. Which lakad? Yung abroad o yung ginagawa namin ngayon kasalukuyan? So, ayun. Pagkatapos na pagka-first lady ni Ma'am Lisa, pwede siyang magdemanda. She'll always be a public figure. And pwede naman siya magdemanda kahit ngayon kung gusto niya. May karapatan siya na some people say wag kasi it's not good. It's not good politics, it's not good optics, and so on. That's her decision. Para sa akin, she has every right to do that. But, may mga tao who say na wag naman kasi nga sa politika, dapat makapal ang mukha mo, and so on. Si Sir Nick is watching from LA. Glenn says, nabasa ko na po yung kay Glenn. Sabi ni Sir Carlos, magaling yung punto about the national wage baseline ng labor movement speaker sa labor hearing kahapon. Yung concern ko lang ay yung now new association niya with PMT Junior. Who's PMT Junior? Can we not use muna? Yung mga abbreviations kasi they confuse me sa ngayon. Pagdating sa Rappler, talagang questionable naman kasi journalism nila. Pati yung mga ideas nila, nakakaloka. Malapit na pag-appoint sa new at incoming cabinet secretaries, huwag naman natin isipin na lahat din papalitan. Marami naman several. VP Sara's appointment as the co-chair of NTF ELCAC is a great start. Hahataw for sure mga maninira kay VP. That's na natin. Then we join in that conversation and say, hoy, diba, you can't say that. Sabi ni Ma'am Pinay, and only First Lady Lisa can address these bloggers who attack her personally. Sampahan ng libel, the question is when? Kapag puno ng salop siguro. I'm sure that she's also considering the political implications of that. At any rate, I will trust her to do whatever she believes is good and right for her. So, naman, I understand when people feel bad dun sa ginagawa sa kanya. And yes, pwede rin naman natin i-defend siya, di ba? So, speak up. If you feel badly about her, speak up about what's happening. Speak up. Okay. That's how to do it. Be part of the conversation. Pero sana, kung galit tayo sa pambabastos, hindi natin gagayahin. Kung sa tingin niyo that is not appropriate behavior, then let's not subscribe to the same behavior or do it also. Sabi ni Sir Francis, may international food exhibit this month sa World Trade. Uy, paalala niyo yan sa akin, kaya lang baka I'm out of the country. Sabi ni Michael, we cannot restrict false statements. That is literally depriving a person of his or her freedom of speech. We can only hold the person accountable for his or her false statements. That's why libel laws exist. Exactly. So what is this whole thing about fake news? Pati itong mga na getting into the act are the social media platforms. Unfortunately, si Elon, mas mahaba ang pasensya tungkol doon. But you know, the going overboard. Certain platforms, they certainly go overboard. Eh, paano ko ba naman magsasabi na, you can't say that because it is fake news? Eh, what if 2 weeks later, hindi na siya fake? Or what if, di ba, what if it's only because of the ignorance of the fact checkers that it is fake? So, ayoko ng ganyan. Play fair. Bakit na-on ko yung ilaw? Ayun, sandala Ano na yan? Ayun. Ayan. Hindi po window shopping. Kung window shopping, ang dami ko nang nabiling window. Loka lang. Sabi ni People's Movement for Truth, Justice, and Reforms. They had a lot of anti-Marcos Duterte statements yesterday. So medyo bago yan. I'm going to have to check them out. Erwin Martinez says, bansin ko yung ideology ng kabilang parlor parang parehas na sa neoliberal sa US. Nilalaban lang nila yung mga makaka-benefit sa kanila, hindi lahat. True. Sabi ni Facebook user, correct, we cannot be bastos because they are bastos. Just deadma. Anyway, kilala na naman natin sila. Sabi ni Nick Omega Cotihar, can a person gather information that is libelous and file a case later? Yes. Wag lang yung mag-prescribe. Paano po ba ma-reach kayo? Kasi I want to donate books in Mindanao kasi mag-move po kami, need to get rid of books. Sa DWIZ po, and we will accept your donations there. Just send to DWIZ, Karambola DWIZ at City State Center Building, 709 Shaw Boulevard, Barangay Oranbo, Pasig City. Ano po lunch ko? Mongolian. Reminder lang po, wag po kayo mag-connect sa wifi dyan. Nag-data lang po kayo at baka manakaw po yung milyones. Uy, I wish meron. Pero hindi ko rin papanakaw. Hindi po nakadata ako. So, may tanong pa ba tungkol sa NTF ELCAC? So, remember ang NTF ELCAC, hindi lang po yan yung directly addressing it. In other words, dun sa level ng military responses. Pero ang NTF ELCAC is also addressing the economic issues that are the source of the insurgency. So how are insurgencies formed? Or how are these terrorist groups formed? What is the what is the, how do you call this? The root cause. So, ang root causes niyan ay when people feel that they have been left behind, na hindi sila naging included. na nakalimutan sila na pag-iwanan, hindi sila belong, and so on. So, tapos couple that with din yung mga sulsol. Kasi syempre, para magka-recruitment, kailangan masulsol. So yung sulsol na yan is people will be trying to make those people already feeling left behind to make them feel angry. Kasi pag angry, less rational. So pag less rational, subject to persuasion and recruitment yung mga yan. So pumapasok yung mga so-called about legal fronts and so on. So many times sila yung dyan, hindi ka ba nagtataka? Bakit kayo yung naghihirap? Bakit yung mga nagjo-Diyos-Diyosan dyan, yung mga Diyos na may-ari ng lupa, etc. Ino-oppress tayo and so on. So that language is something that we have to watch out for. Kasi, while it is true na hindi lahat ng problema ng kahirapan ay nalulutas o mailulutas, there's certainly things that we can do to help mitigate them. So, education is one. Bringing business opportunities dun sa mga remote na areas natin para may source ng hanap buhay yung mga tao at hindi sila marirecruit basta-basta. So yun, ina-address yan ng NTF ELCAC. They bring the opportunities. Dadali nila yung DTI, yung mga programa ng DTI, etc. Mga microloans, dinadala rin dyan. Education, dinadala din dyan. Or sinisiguro natin na ganap yung edukasyon at laganap. So these are also ways that do not ignore the soft approach. Kasi marami sa atin sinasabi, yay, si Ma'am Inday kasi matapang yan. Hindi lang po kasi tapang ang kailangan sa anti-insurgency at terrorism. Kaya bagay si Ma'am Inday. Meron din siyang side on education. Meron din siyang side bilang mayor. Alam niya na yung deprivation of economic opportunities is makes the place ripe for recruitment, ripe for the proliferation of these groups na mananamantala sa sitwasyon. Poverty is the biggest recruiter sa mga ganyang klaseng grupo. And so what do? We address poverty. That is part of NTF ELCAC. It isn't so much then the laban. 90% of the NTF ELCAC is addressing the root causes of the problem because the military is the one taking care of the direct military response. Okay, last two questions kasi not because pagod ako pero dahil kakain na kami. Sabi ni Eric, may ginagawa ba ang gobyerno to decongest NCR? Isa kasi sa reklamo ng mga rebelde nasa NCR na lahat ng budget at opportunities. Yes, but yan na naman yung what they're doing is sinasakyan nila yung belief na Imperial Manila pa rin. It isn't that It isn't even Imperial Manila. It started because Manila was the port. Okay? Manila and Cebu, yan yung mga ports. Ano pa ba yung mga naging trading centers? Yung mga nasa banks ng rivers. So, what does Manila have? They had both. They had ports, they have rivers, they have places where people could congregate. So, dyan po nag-umpisa yun. There's no intention of keeping the money in Metro Manila. It's just that the support structures are there. So, binibigyan, kaya nga meron tayong local government code to devolve certain functions to the LGU, including having the economic and political and legal wherewithal to bring businesses to their own places. The law already provides that. So yung be careful na hindi natin tinutulungan yung mga insurgents. By saying Imperial Manila, binibili natin yung idea na binibenta nila. The fact is power and in a lot of the economic opportunities are already devolved. Pero pinipilit pa rin yung Imperial Manila na yan. It's so that people in the provinces will feel left behind, will feel that they are not part of the decision-making processes, na hindi sila belong. But the fact is, with a representational government, belong lahat. Sabi ni Chev, nakakatawa. Sila nagre-reklamo sa Imperial Manila, ngunit sila din, uy, kumain na kayo, start na kayo. Sila nagre-reklamo sa, wala. Ngunit sila din po ang nananakot sa mga negosyante sa probinsya. Correct. wala kasi sa interest ng mga grupo na ito na umasenso tayo. Gusto nila ignorante yung mga tao, so dinidisrupt nila yung education system. Gusto nila mahirap tayo kasi ang mahihirap ang marirecruit nila. Kaya sinasabotahin nila yung mga economic gains. They want to keep people ignorant and poor because when people are ignorant and poor, they are easier to convince to join their cause. Part yan ng ina-address ng ating NTF-ELCAC. Sabi ni Erwin, kung may Imperial Manila, meron din bang Imperial Cebu at Davao? The insurgents will not tell you that. But yes, of course, anywhere where people think there is a concentration of power and economic opportunity, sasabihin din nila yon. Sabi ni Samuel, it makes you think that countries neighboring the Philippines are the ones benefiting from the bad deeds of the CPP, NPA, and NDF. That is correct. Because they are keeping us a consumer society instead of a producing one. If we are producing, we are earning. But the only thing we are exporting right now in large amounts are our OFWs, and we want to put a stop to that. Sabi ni JM, gusto daw niya i-topic yung GCash. Okay, pero pinag-usapan kasi namin sa Karambola yan extensively. What I'll do is, kung mag-live ako mamaya uli, doon na siya itatopic, kung hindi, bukas. Hi, Kay. Is NTF-ELCAC regionalized? Actually, yes, it is. Hindi regions, but there are several, it's not just in Metro Manila. It's nationalized, kumbaga. So kung lahat ng nag-progress nagiging imperial, like Iloilo, edi dapat lahat gawin na lang imperial. Kung lahat imperial, walang imperial. Parang kung lahat special, hindi ka special. PH should go back to be the leading agri-supplier in Asia and the world. Yes, and on that note, I hope everybody has a good day. Celebrate muna natin na si VP Inday, ang co-chair ng NTF-ELCAC, and that she will approach the problem holistically. Kasi dalawa na yung advantage na. Naging mayor siya at Secretary of Education siya, protecting the youth. At the same time, available sa kanya lahat ng information about the prevention of the proliferation of these terrorist groups. So, ano daw ang ibibida ng week na Pangulo sa SONA, sabi ni Ronald Vicente. Can we give him a chance? Hintayin muna natin yung report. After that, pwede naman tayong mag-disagree sa report niya. Pwede rin naman tayong hindi satisfied sa report niya. Pwede naman tayong maningil. Kasi presidente natin siya, binoto natin siya. Tayo yung nagluklok sa kanya into office. And if his administration, his government is not performing, then we can ask him, Sir, address nyo naman to. Issue na talaga ang pagkain, and so on. Ganyan. Nothing stops us from criticizing. Mahal natin siya. Pero kung mahal natin siya, we will make sure that he does well. And he will not be able to do well if he does not listen to us. Diba? Pag he does not listen to well-meaning criticism. Sabi ni Sir Samuel, and let's also celebrate yung pagkatalo ni Lady. Para sa akin, yung panalo ng ating Pangulo. Kasi even President Duterte is very supportive of this president. And so let's take that example. Supportan natin ang Pangulo natin kasi siya yung leader natin eh. His failure will be our failure. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to make sure that he does the right things. Okay? So, and by doing that, how do we do that? By telling him when we think that he's doing something wrong, but also at the same time praising him when he does something right. Everybody needs a little support. Everybody needs cheering up, and everybody needs constructive criticism. The President is not an exception. So maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay sa dalawang live na naman tayo ngayon dahil naputol. And thank you very much for liking and sharing for all the stars that you send us and all the super chat and super stickers. Maraming salamat sa lahat. Ingat po ang lahat. Kain tayo. We'll see you. Nandito ako sa Robinson's Magnolia. If you see me, just call. Just let me know and you can come up and say hi. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good